Returning as the White Primordial by Noru-Sensei Chapter 3. So, I'm going to the other world, so what? Testarossa Pav. As we finally got out from the underworld, I brought Vert and Blue with me. Since I was here, there is something I want to try. Greater than nay, Azazeru. Less than I called the name of my personal manas. Less than yes, master. Greater than he asked. Greater than can I travel to other realities? Less than I asked. Less than at this point, there is nothing impossible for you, master. Greater than. Greater than is that so? Then, if I want to defeat Veldanava, is it possible? Less than? Less than no, it's not possible at this current master. Also, I'm sure you didn't really meant it, do you? Greater than Azazeru-kun asked with a little worry. I was about to say no when a certain someone tapped my shoulder. It seems you have plans to defeat me, Testarossa, a very familiar voice said. Thanks to my multiversal sense, I can already tell it was Veldanava. I then kept my cool as I said, could you please not listen to our conversation, Veldanava? I asked politely. My bad, I was just currently bored at the moment, he casually said. I then could see that both Vert and Blue were kneeling in front of him. Greetings, Veldanava-sama. The both of them said at the same time. Don't be so stiff. I came here as sort of friend to Testarossa, ha, said Veldanava as he laughed. But anyway, the concept of traveling through worlds are interesting, Testarossa. As he ended his laugh, he said that to me. Well, thank you. I said sarcastically. Say, it's been a few years since you were in the underworld. Didn't you get stronger? He suddenly asked as he did an appraisal on me. As he checked my skills out, he was surprised. I never knew you actually got to hold open double angle bracket Akashic records close double angle bracket. Not just that. You just got an ultimate skill from Ne-sama herself. He muttered in disbelief. I then just looked at him with an curious expression as I tilted my head in the side. Don't give me that expression. But oh well, I'll only unlock what Ne-sama had gave you. You can have the open double angle bracket Akashic records close double angle bracket when the time has come. He then said as he suddenly held my head. Then I felt more stronger than before. Less than Veldanava-sama had unlocked open double angle bracket ultimate skill. Goddess of all creation close double angle bracket. Controlling and managing the new ultimate skill is successful. Master Testarossa, you may use the ultimate skill if you wish to. Greater than Azazeru-kun informed me. There, done. You can also create every skill you want now. Ne-sama must had find you amusing, said Veldanava. Of course, not just skills. But to species and other living, not living things as well. In other terms. You have at least 15% of Ne-sama's soul and power onto you, Testarossa, he added. Wait, what? You mean San found me interesting, but why would she give 15% of her soul to someone like me? I have so many questions. Do please answer if you can hear me? Of course she wouldn't answer, but since I had this power that you trusted me, I swear my allegiance to you. And that is what I said internally as I thank her with all my heart. Open double angle bracket, you're welcome. Close double angle bracket, a voice said. Wait, you can hear me? Please answer my questions earlier. But she didn't answer. Oh well, I'm very thankful to her. So, now that I unlocked that skill of yours, where do you plan to go? He then asked me. I'm going in one of the worlds you had created, I answered him. From what you are currently thinking, it seems I already knew where you were going, but be sure to come here quickly when I summoned you, he stated as he stared at me. I will. I said. Good, oh yeah, by the way. Sometime in the future I have plans to introduce you to Feldway and to the other primordial angels. Veldanava added. I see, then I'll keep that in mind, I said, and before I forget, he suddenly said. I then just looked at him. Why don't you name Vert and Blue? Asked Veldanava. I was then surprised by this. Why didn't I think of that in the first place? Now that he mentioned it, what is a good name for them? For now I'll call them as their representative color, but if I did find a good name, I will name them, I said to Veldanava. If you say so, he said. Then Veldanava vanished. As he vanished in front of us, I then looked at Vert and Blue, who seemed surprised and excited for some reason. I then created a portal for us to be teleported to the world we're going to visit. Third POV. In a world full of magic, most nations were at the middle of domination against one another. But there is one powerful nation who proved itself to all nations around the world. That is none other than the magic empire of Alzano. Alzano Empire, a nation that is located on the northwest edge of the North Selford continent. It is most well known as a country of major magical power and typically has temperate marine climate. It is roughly divided into the Itaria region on the north and the Yorkshire region on the south. The current queen was Alika II. She was a very beautiful woman whom was respected by the rest of the imperial citizens. Currently they were preparing for a war against Zeldia Kingdom, whom was having a dispute about the territory. As time went by, the war had started. At first the Imperial army were sure to win easily, but they were wrong. The Royal Zeldian army were holding them rather without much difficulty. This was a problem for the Imperial generals as they promised their queen fast victory. Meanwhile, Testarossa, Vert and Blue were taking a tour around the area where the war was happening. They were currently inside the besieged town of Zeldia Kingdom called Zuno. They were just there to explore the place when a war happened. Currently they were enjoying a cup of tea in an inn. Blue was currently out to buy some sweets on a nearby bakery. But that would be later known in the world history as the Bloody Massacre of Zuno, where a blue-haired lady together with the green-haired and white-haired ladies joined the blue-haired lady to kill all soldiers present in Zuno. That was also known as the divine punishment to the Zeldia Kingdom and a miracle for the Alzano Empire. Filled diamond blue POV. You probably know who I am. I won't introduce myself now. As you know, Testarossa Sama, Vert and I were currently in a different world. Can't you believe it? We already got to explore some parts of the kingdom called Zeldia. There was one thing that Testarossa Sama had told us before going to another world. Don't tell to people here when we are asked that we're a primordial demon. Instead tell that we're humans. Vert and I nodded from what she said. Then we went to this world. Currently I was going back from the bakery. I had sweets with me that Testarossa Sama ordered me to buy some. But then some of the filthy humans in armor came to me. Oi! Look we had here, one of them said as the others were blocking my path. What a beautiful lady, another one said. Then a tall-looking guy came close to me. Hey, need some help with those? He politely asked. But I can detect some malicious intent into it. No thank you, I said. Oh, don't be so hasty now. Let's have some fun, he said as he smiles widely. That's unfair, Captain. Share with us, you're not the one who is stressed about the war, one of them said. Yeah. Let us have some taste of her as well, Cap, another one said. Could you get away from me? I said as I glared at them with killing intent. Oi, oi. Don't act so tough. Well, since you are beautiful, I'll let you accompany me and some of my men to entertain us, he said as his fake wide smile was turning into a wolf that had found its prey. Currently there are 15 of us. Using magic is useless since if you fired one spell, we're all going to fire our own magics to kill you. Then, we will enjoy your lifeless body, he arrogantly said. That's it, I'll show these puny humans what magic is and tell them who are they messing with. Less than Testarossa Sama, I'm in the middle of a pinch right now. It seems that the knights of the lowly kingdom called Zeldia is planning to enjoy my body. I shall teach them a lesson. Greater than I reported it to my eldest sister. Greater than sure, just don't go overboard, less than she granted me permission. I then thanked her. Now then, you messed with me, lowly humans. Then the first 14 casualties made by Blue were witnessed by the townspeople and let go a single knight to tell the others what had happened to them. Then few hours later, the rest of the knights that were available were sent to the inn where Testarossa and the other two were currently staying at. As they forced their way inside, they were met with threats that most of the knights went inside were instantly killed. Vert meanwhile were tasked to eliminate the rest of the knights present with Rain. Then they went into a fortress where the lord of that town, AMD some of its officers are currently staying at. A guard of the fortress saw two figures walking towards the fortress. As they got closer the other guards were also alerted as they saw two of the ladies with blue hair and green hair showing them some magical energy in their hand. Stop right there and surrender, the guard said. Then some of the knights and guards formed into their battle form. There are also some combat mages present or they are aiming their magic spells towards Vert and Blue. That was their mistake. As soon as they barraged them with magic attacks, both Vert and Blue launched a nuclear magic towards the fortress walls. As the spell reached its destination, it exploded, killing all of the guards, knights and magicians within the radius of the nuclear magic. Then both Blue and Vert teleported inside the fortress to kill all the remaining knights, magicians, healers, officers, and they spared the lord of the town as Testarossa ordered them. As they completed their task, they went back to Testarossa, who was waiting for them inside the inn. It was full of dead knights and magicians alike. They were shredded into pieces. Most of them were unrecognizable. The lord of the town who saw this went pale and finally got unconscious, as he can't tolerate the scenery present to him. Black small square, black small square, black small square. Testarossa Pav. As both Vert and Blue had done their task, they kneeled to me as they bring the lord of this town. The lord went pale, then later on lost his consciousness as he saw the tragedy his men went into. Testarossa Sama, if may I, said Vert. I then looked at her, signaling to continue what she will say. May I suggest if we go to the fortress and stay there, she suggested. I then thinked for a second before giving my approval. Then I teleported us to the fortress. As we arrived there, I tied up the town's lord using my threads and hang him upside down. Isn't this a good idea to name them? Then I called the both of them. As I called them, they immediately teleported in front of me while kneeling down. Hi, Testarossa Sama, both of them said at the same time. I think it's finally time to name the both of you, I said to them with pride. I saw both of their reactions. They were happy that they'll receive a name from me. Greater than say, Azazeru-kun. Less than I talked to my trusted manas. Less than hi. Greater than he asked. Greater than what will happen to them exactly when I name them. Less than I asked. Less than in Veldanava's system, naming them would have a deeper connection with you. Not just that, they will grow stronger and respect the most of the individual who will name them. In most cases, naming a primordial demon, or any stronger entity will have a very high risk. But since it's you master, it would be nothing to you. Greater than Azazeru-kun explained. Greater than then it is what I thought. In that case they will evolve into demon peers, correct? Less than I asked to clarify. Less than that would be correct, master. Greater than he answered. Greater than then what name should I give them? Less than I asked my trusted manas. Less than how about Mazari for Vert, and Rain for Blue? Greater than Azazeru-kun said. Greater than that's brilliant. Thank you, Azazeru-kun. Less than I thanked him. Less than I just did what I have to do to serve you, master. Greater than. I then looked into Vert. Vert, your name from now on shall be Mazari, I said to her. Then I felt a large percent of my magicules came out from me to Mazari. She was wrapped by a green cocoon for a few seconds, then she came out wearing a plain white maid uniform. I, Mazari, will be forever at your side, and thankful to the wonderful name you gave me, Testarossa Sama, said Mazari as she bowed her head. Next, I then looked at Blue. Blue, from this day on, you shall be known as Rain, I said to her. Then same as Mazari, I felt large part of my magicules sucked out from me and went to Rain. She was also wrapped into a cocoon, but this time it was blue. As she came out from the cocoon, just as same as Mazari, she was wearing a pure white maid outfit. I'm forever will be at your service and thankful to the very wonderful name you had bestowed on me, Testarossa Sama, Rain said as she bowed her head. Then I gave Mazari her first task, that is to inform the enemy of these men we killed are dead. They can come and take the fortress. Well, they already heard the explosions made by Mazari and Rain earlier, they must be wondering now. Mazari bowed her head then vanished from my sight. Rain, let's eat some sweets that you brought earlier, I said to her. As you wish, Testarossa Sama, she said with a smile as she sat down on a chair, and we ate the sweets. Of course we left some for Mazari, who was currently talking to an officer of the Imperial Army from the Empire called Alzano. Unknown currency Mazari Pav. As I got my first task from Testarossa Sama as Mazari, I teleported to a nearby Imperial soldier. He was at first surprised, then he aimed his sword at me. Luckily he was stopped by his commanding officer. He asked me some questions like how did I come here, am I their enemy? Then I answered them no, and I also told them that my master, Testarossa-sama sent me here to tell their general a message. They were skeptical, but they escorted me towards a camp where their general was. As I went inside, I saw an old man who seemed kind. "Greetings, I'm Major General Befko. Nice to meet you," he said. "Mazari, likewise," I said. "So, Mazari-san, what is the purpose of your visit?" he asked me with a serious expression. "I'm here to tell you a message from Testarossa-sama," I told him. "Testarossa? Who is this person?" he asked. "She is my master. We came from a faraway place." "We're not your enemy," I answered. "It seems like it. I could feel that if you were indeed our enemy, you could just wipe us out without any problem. Now then, what is your master's message?" he said and asked, looking at me with serious expression. "My master said that you could go ahead and take the fortress without any resistance. We already took care of them," I said. "What? You mean, you're siding with us? So you mean, that explosions earlier, you were the ones who done it?" he said as he foresaw the situation. "That is indeed correct. It is up to you if you believe it or not. Now then I shall take my leave, as I already delivered you the message. If you have come and decided to take the fortress, we will wait for you and welcome you. My master seems would like to have a conversation with you in the future. Farewell." I then slightly bowed to show some respect, then I teleported back to the fortress. As I got back, I went to Testarossa-sama, who seems to be enjoying her cup of coffee as Rain was enjoying her cup of tea. I then bowed my head in front of her. "Testarossa-sama, I have done my task," I said politely. "Good work, now take a rest and eat some sweets. Rain, prepare some tea for Mazari," Testarossa-sama said and ordered. "Hi." At once, Testarossa-sama. The both of us said at the same time as we do what Testarossa-sama said to us. Then a night had passed since I passed the message. It seems that the Major General of the Imperial Army took the message and marched towards the fortress. The lord of the town soon gained consciousness. He was currently being interrogated by Rain. Currently Testarossa-sama and I were outside of the fortress to meet the Imperial Army directly. As they saw us, they were on guard for a second, then when they saw me they lowered their weapons and marched relaxed towards us. Testarossa-sama seems to be having fun about this situation. I can't wait to know what Testarossa-sama is currently planning. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, Testarossa Pav. As the Imperial soldiers arrived, they went inside the fortress to secure it. Meanwhile, the Major General of this army legion were inside together with his advisors to greet me. As he went close, he got off from his horse and came to greet us. "It is my pleasure to finally meet you, Testarossa Dono," he said as he presents me a hand. I then took his hand and had a handshake. "Likewise, Major General. As you know from my servant and sister Mazari that I am Testarossa. Now please come inside," I said, then offered to him. "Thanks for the offer," he said. Then we went inside the fortress. We then went inside an office. The ones currently present were Major General Befko, some of his officers, and his advisors. Mazari and Rain were currently serving them with either tea or coffee. As usual, I have some cup of coffee. The Major General likes tea. There are also some who prefers coffee. It was mixed. There was some silence inside the room as we drink. Then it was the Major General who broke the silence. "Testarossa Dono, on the behalf of the Queen and to the Imperial soldiers, I'm thankful that you took care of the enemy for us," he said. "No problem, I had sensed that you were good people. Also it was also because they tried to harass and violate my servant and little sister Rain," I said. "Giahahaha. I see, I'm sure Her Majesty Alicia too will be thankful to you also, Testarossa Dono," he said as he then took a sip of his tea. As he finishes, he then looks at me. "Say, Testarossa Dono, may I ask where did the three of you came from?" he asked with a serious expression. "Let's just say that we came from a very faraway place. Another thing, we're not humans but what you call spirits," I said to them. Then they were shocked to the core as I said that. Some spat out what they were drinking, some were looking at me with wide eyes. "Testarossa-sama is our goddess," added Rain. "Don't tell them such things, Rain," I hissed at her. But it was already too late. All of them present in the room kneeled in front of me. "Please forgive our ignorance with your presence, Testarossa-sama," they all said. "What a troublesome they are, Naiwa. Sigh, I guess I should let Rain out of the hook for now." "Raise your head. No need with such formalities on me, I said. But we can't, Testarossa-sama. You are no doubt a goddess, the Major General said. Then it took me some time to calm them down. Then we talked about helping them to defeat the rest of Zeldian troops and besiege their capital called Nikleb. A few days later, with our help, the Zeldia kingdom was no more. I let Mazari and Rain rampage, killing all soldiers, leaving some alive. As of right now, I'm meeting the Queen of the Empire. Rain and Mazari were with me along with the now General Befko. My status as a goddess reached to the whole empire. Mostly when people see me, they started to worship me. It didn't bother me as I can use my intrinsic skill, nigh omniversal shapeshift, to change my appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, all except of our goddess and her servants kneel in front of our queen, Alicia too. One of her servants said as the door opens. There I met the queen herself. She may be beautiful, but I could tell that she is also a powerful one. As she walked in front of the throne, she then sat on it and lifted her hand to stop the noise. I, Alicia too, will be expressing my utmost gratitude and appreciation to our goddess Testarossa-sama and her servants Mazari Dono and Rain Dono, she then said as she stood and kneeled in front of us. Then I told to her to stand up, and she has no need to do so as she is the queen of this empire. She reluctantly agreed. There were so many praises and questions from the crowd. In the end, I had decided to stay in the empire to create a personal units on my own. They'll be known as Imperial Holy Court Mages, who only obey at my command. They will follow the Queen's order if I found it necessary. It consists of 10 members as of the current. Who are the members of such Imperial Holy Mages? The members were me, Mazari, Rain, and some worthy members. Of course there are some reserved for our old subordinates and friends. I gave each of us some designation. It goes like this. Unknown Currency Holy Mage Operative Number 0. The Divine Protégé, Holy Mage Operative Number 1. The White Empress, Testarossa, Toshiro. Filled Diamond Holy Mage Operative Number 2. The Divine Adjutant, Heart Suit Holy Mage Operative #3. The Virescent Right Hand, Mazari. Spade Suit Holy Mage Operative Number 4. The Azure Left Hand, Rain. Club Suit Holy Mage Operative Number 5. Holy Mage Operative Number 6. Hollow Diamond Holy Mage Operative Number 7. Heart Holy Mage Operative Number 8. Holy Mage Operative Number 9. Holy Mage Operative Number 10. Of course those question mark in there, I already got some in mind to fill in it. Don't worry about it, I'll bring them here soon. Our uniform of course are very different from what those regular imperial soldiers and mages had. It was I myself who designed it. I was inspired to the formality of military uniforms back in Earth, so I clearly made those here. It consists of a white blazer, white necktie and white polo for the top, white skirt and low heels for the bottom. That is my uniform. As for Mazari, it is her green counterpart, finally for Rain, her blue counterparts. Of course you can see on our collars the Holy Mage Operative number of the perspective numbers. Of course in our right chest area I placed the Alzano Empire's symbol, while I placed our symbol on the right. Now then, let's go and recruit those individuals that I had in mind.